everybody, this is Noelle from Petitti Garden Centers, and it is late winter, and we've had this beautiful break in the weather, so I thought it would be a great day to come out and just show you a little bit of spring pruning, because it's spring pruning, yeah, well, late winter, early spring pruning. When the leaves are off the trees and off your shrubs, you can see the structure of the plants, and that's the best time to go out and prune, when they're still dormant or when they're just starting to push new growth, because you can see the whole structure. So in any respect, when you're pruning, you always remove the dead, diseased, and damaged. Remember, it could be any time of the year. It doesn't matter. When you see the 3 Ds, you want to go out there and take care of it as soon as you possibly can. Other things that you're looking for, especially at this time of year, are water sprouts. And I've described water sprouts before, but if you've never recognized them, they are straight up and down, very thin vertical growth coming off of your main branches on your trees. And they don't do a thing for your tree. They're actually pulling water and nutrients away from the main branching of the tree. So you want to remove your water sprouts. Water sprouts are usually very thin, so you can use pruners, just handheld pruners typically, to remove them. Some trees produce a lot of water sprouts, others don't. It just kind of depends on the tree. But I will tell you, crab apples, cherries, anything in the rose family or the fruiting family, even though it's an ornamental, if it produces a fruit, has apple or pear in its name, you'll probably see some water sprouts there, as well as suckers. The crabapple that we were pruning did not have any base suckers, any trunk suckers, which is amazing because they tend to do that. So now is a great time to take care of that as well. Get those suckers and those water sprouts as close to the main trunk or the main branch as possible. Leave a nice clean cut. Of course, always sterilize your tools before you start too. I forgot to add that at the beginning. The other thing that we pruned out here today are just weak crossing branches. Really, the whole idea is to take all of that weak crossing, rubbing, thin growth out of the center of the tree to open it up so it can get more light penetration, but it also gets better air circulation. So you won't see mildew issues, that type of damage, leaf spots, and those types of things. You'll see that less because you're opening the tree up for better sun and air. So that's always a really good thing to do. And that's kind of a yearly thing with the water sprouts, taking out the thinning, the crossing branches, all those types of things. It's pretty much a yearly thing. So what you can do, lots of times your crossing branches are going to be much larger, so you can move up to like a lopper. This lopper was hard for me to use because I like to use the one that has a ratchet on it, so I can really kind of get better pressure on some of the limbs. And your limbs using a lopper, like you probably don't want to prune much more than about a 1/2 inch limb using your pruners. So loppers can take up to about 1 inch, 1/2 inch to about 1 inch, maybe a little bit more if you have like a ratcheting type. And then if anything's bigger or more troublesome than that, go ahead and use a pruning saw. Pruning saws are pretty flexible. They're easy to get into kind of tight spaces, if you will. Basically, they help to get a nice clean cut really, really close to either the main branch or the main trunk of that tree, so you can take off those branches and do it really, really quickly and easily. I'm telling you right now, get out there while there's some good weather. Again, we're right at the beginning of March here. Because of this warm weather, there's a little bit of growth you can start to see on some of the trees, like the maples and things. They're just starting to show some color and push out new growth. But you can get out there and see the whole structure of the plant and really remove any of those, like I said, the 3 Ds, dead, disease, damage, and or your water sprouts, your suckering growth, your thin or crossing branches. Do remember, if you have spring blooming trees or shrubs, just remember that you can wait and let them go ahead and bloom and then prune immediately following that bloom cycle, so you get the best pruning cuts while they're still cold outside. Okay, so just remember that. Enjoy.